Okay, guys, so let's give a little bit of house clearing out of the way real quick. First of all, you haven't seen me in about a month, and the reason for that is because I have had three videos, one short and two videos, that have all been either age restricted or outright deleted. And the age restricted video was the shooting of Charlie Kirk. It was the webcam or the phone footage that a student took at the rally. There's nothing graphic in the video. It just simply you see the gunshot and uh, Charlie slumps over. I guess that could be considered age restrictable. I get it's mature content, so didn't really think too much of it. A week later, I had a video deleted for violating terms of service under the firearms policy. I then preemptively deleted a video that I had had up for no less than 3 days. And I did so because I wanted to make sure that there were no policy violations that even could be misconstrued by even YouTube's sensitive AI. And I ended up getting a warning on top of the previous warning for a video that I deleted after the fact. Well, I have a lot to say about this, and I brought receipts, and I am very, very frustrated with how this is going. So, without further ado, let's not bury the lead. The video that I had deleted first was my Go Wutar optic video, where I simply did a torture test and review of the optic. I did not list anything for sale. I did not list for sale links. I did not list anything that would lead you to a for sale link like I see so many gun tubers do, like a link tree or something where they put it behind a paywall, but then you can totally still link that link that links to another link where you can actually go find the product. I didn't do that. I didn't do anything of the sort. I simply just showed the thing. I showed it already pre-installed on the gun because YouTube can get a little weird about installing accessories on firearms, whatever that means. And I even showed off camera. I didn't show me physically taking the optic off and putting it back on the gun when I did my water torture test, again, with the express purpose of simply testing the optic to see whether or not it would hold up to drop tests, water tests, things of that nature. And they nuked the video. And the timestamp that the AI gave me was part of my jokes in the opening reel. Didn't have anything to do with anything remotely connected to where I got it, who sent it to me, anything related to that. So I got a hold of customer support. And I have never run into a more just chat body style of customer support. Like, their answer was straight up, don't violate the policy and we won't have a problem. They wouldn't tell me, they outright said, we can't tell you where in the video you committed the act that we deemed to be a violation of terms of service. They also would not tell me what I had done without telling me the timestamp, period. They just simply said, whatever you did, don't do it again and we won't have a problem. Okay. I figured maybe it had something to do with me taking the optic on and off the gun, so I put it out of sight, out of mind. I figured it was bound to happen. I'm a GunTube channel. YouTube is run by communists. They hate us. Whatever. Move on. So I deleted my following video, which was my review of the TSAS BR9DS. And again, I did not list links. I did not advocate for the sale of firearms. I did not advocate for the sale of the accessories. I did not violate terms of service by showing how to modify or upgrade illegally the firearm. I simply said that I had upgraded off camera the pistol, and again, off camera, had installed all of the accessories. Never once in that video did you see me installing anything on the firearm, period. Still got a warning for it. Again, this time I decided to take it up the food chain a little bit, and I asked for a supervisor, which, yeah, okay, call me a Susan or a Karen. I really just needed to see how far this rabbit hole would go. And it really didn't go anywhere, like, I guess you could say, like, juicy. There's no real, like, payoff necessarily in this for your rage bait. Really, all that came down to was that I was told, and I quote verbatim, and I will post somewhere over here the video that I made where I basically took a video off my phone showing the entire chat, where I asked extremely specific questions. What did I do? Where did I do it? Can I do this? Can I not do that? And they were evasive. They would not answer my questions. They would not define what an accessory was. They would not define how you can do this but not do that. I asked them is it one of my sponsors? Because I currently have two, and I asked them, hey, was it neither one of my sponsors sells firearms? Was it something that I like did that violate terms of service? Because I remember Hickok 45 earlier in the year had mentioned that YouTube was going to go Super Saiyan on all firearms related content again, following their 2024 crackdown, with sponsorships. Like if you were sponsoring a video that sells firearms, which is hilarious because so many of the big gun tubers like straight up shill for gun companies that like sell literal guns, which I do not do. Shepherd Defensive does not do that. US2A Arms, to my understanding, does not do that. If they do, I'll need to have a conversation with the owner because I obviously can't have a sponsor that does that. But that's neither here nor there. The issue was that the supervisor basically said, yeah, we can't tell you what you did. We can't tell you where it happened. And we wouldn't even if we could. And just don't violate the policy and we won't have a problem. And then I basically asked a series of questions trying to elaborate further on potential issues, basically doing some detective work to try to get them to admit it without telling me outright that, yeah, this is what you did, by getting them to just basically answer true or false questions. And they wouldn't even do that. They were hyper evasive, wouldn't answer any of my questions, and then prematurely ended the chat on me. So where does that leave me? Well, currently I am sitting on a very, very, very small drop in the bucket, grain of sand YouTube channel for guns. I do it for love of the game. I love gear. I love guns. And it's just something that I enjoy doing. I figured I might as well put it on YouTube. Maybe it'll go somewhere. Who knows? I'm not hilarious or funny. I don't have a big production. I do 90% of this with my phone or with my wife's help. It's just, it is what it is, guys. I'm not a YouTuber. And basically, what it looks like right now is that they are trying to bully me into silence and going away. I've had 2 videos do pretty well, 3 that have done decently well, 2 that did really well, 1 that's done ish well, 1 that just got straight up nuked the second it started to do really well, and it was on the 4th of July. It was a lot of Pro 2A stuff where I was basically just ripping on the redcoats and just shilling for the good old USA, because I'm a red-blooded patriot and I love this country and I love my freedoms. YouTube doesn't, and they're run by a bunch of commies apparently. Or the chat center in Dubai, wherever it is run by people who have never had access to firearms like we have, don't get our rights, don't like our rights, and they just are getting their paycheck and
screw your freedom,
in the words of the governor. So again, I'm belaboring the point, but where does that leave me? Well, this could be my swan song. I'm trying really hard to keep a level head with this because I've waited about a month to make this video, and I didn't want to because I was terrified of losing my progress. But I really had to look inside and go, what kind of a man am I? Because the internet's not real, and this is all for fun, and YouTube can't hurt me. And all they can do is silence my free speech for now. And if they decide to nuke my channel, which they could totally do, they could look proactively, and they said that they can and do look proactively into your pre-existing videos, no matter how old they are, and retroactively will apply any sort of punitive measures based on new rules. So there's literally zero way for gun tubers to ever be fully in compliance. All you can do is hope that the Eye of Sauron does not fall on you. And I know what happened. The AI started looking at me with a microscope because of my Charlie Kirk video. Because within a week, literally a week's time, I had 2 videos back to back that were just obliterated. And all of my videos started just falling downhill like crazy as far as viewership was concerned. No matter what kind of a video I did, period. And I know that that's what happened. So there's really no winning here. YouTube is currently the biggest platform with the biggest audience and the easiest way for people like me to try to make a go of it, no matter how talentless we may be, to try and generate some passive income for our families. Or just at the very minimum, try to just pay for our hobbies so that we're not, putting money towards that when we could be putting it towards things that would benefit our children and our wives, because that's really what we should be doing. If you're prioritizing your gun hobby over your family, I would strongly urge you to check yourself and re-examine your priorities. However, again, I'm sorry for belaboring the point. I have a lot to say about this, and I'm trying to keep it short. If this is the end of the Stache Gun Tube channel, however small it is, and I have to keep perspective about that, because I am poquito más, itty bitty, and it was probably never going to go anywhere anyway. And so I have a big middle finger for YouTube and say, go fuck yourself if you think you're going to silence me. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching this video, but I am not going to be silenced. I will continue to upload and make content. If it has to be all in the mean green, capital R, where I get like 5 views per video, I don't care. And I'm going to continue my gaming channels and just have fun with it. I'm not going to take myself too seriously, because at the end of the day, the internet's not real, and really no one cares about my opinion. But I will say this, on a deeper level, maybe just like there's a silver lining here, that I had to answer the question again. I'm gonna try to complete my thought from earlier. I tend to rabbit trail, and I apologize for that. It's just who I am. If you've been here since the beginning, you know that. I had to ask myself what kind of a man I was, and if I was going to put potential earnings, because I have not made a dime off of anything I've done with YouTube. I've spent literally thousands, and it's been all for naught if it goes down the drain. But I had to ask myself, is it worth it that I maintain my principles and my freedom and make this little FU video back to whatever dickhead YouTube rep that decided to hit the ban button on those 2 videos? Not that they're ever going to see it. Or was I going to hide and cower for the potential possibility that they might ignore me, and maybe I'll be able to keep making GunTube videos, and maybe I'll get to 5, maybe I'll be able to make money off of it? I don't give a shit. I really don't. I have a bad habit of sinking way too much effort into everything I do and going really ham on it. My wife could tell you that. My best friend could tell you that. I go way overboard with everything I do. I just put way too much effort into it. And as I keep saying, the internet's not real, and mean words on the internet can't hurt you. But YouTube is the biggest tech platform that has completely replaced legacy television, and it will continue to be that. Eventually, I think within the next probably 10 to 15 years, any kind of Second Amendment content will just be gone from YouTube. It just won't exist unless something drastic happens, like Section 230, or, I mean, Google's, I guess that antitrust lawsuit might have something to do with it. Who knows? Maybe Elon will end up buying YouTube. I doubt it. But stranger things have happened. So I'm going to post here the just screenshots, and I'm going to run some B-roll of the reports that I've had. And I want to make another point. It's not just me, guys. I have had just a nonstop deluge of other content creators that have small channels like mine just tagging me in posts or letting me know, like, hey, we had a video taken down. Hey, we had this video that was given a strike. We, fought this, we lost. We fought this, we lost. Even big channels like Mr. Guns and Gear just arbitrarily getting his videos deleted, or the Gunning Gal, who I believe is also in Utah as well. Multiple strikes, which, I mean, you get 3, you're done. And she has a lot of skin in the game. She's got 200,000 subscribers, 30,000, Instagram followers. And, that's a pretty decent size right there. And even she had mentioned that this is not uncommon. YouTube will bully small channels, and they will try to get you to shut up until you're too big and you have real money and you can actually fight back. I don't have that. Literally, I work a day job. I make these videos on the side, and it's a struggle. I'm raising kids. I really don't know why I do it. Maybe because, I really wanted to try and see if there was a possibility I could make a go of it. Occasionally I'm funny, according to my mom. So I thought maybe I had something valuable to add to the zeitgeist of firearms. And I have a lot of videos I want to make in the future that I think would be really fun. And that's all this is about, is having fun. But if I'm not allowed to have fun because I might trigger some libtard at YouTube, or their AI algorithm might be like, oh my God, you showed a flashlight and then you said Amazon 30 seconds ago, he's trying to sell something. Quick, burn the Constitution. That's what it feels like. But they're a private company, so they're not subject to the rules. And you know what? I'm over it with your libertarian bullshit. Go start your own platform. Go pay for your own infrastructure. That only works when there's options. There's not right now. The big R, the big green R, and I'm not saying the full name because this video is probably going to get nuked anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but I'm not going to add more fuel to the fire if there's a possibility that this can stay up for at least a week. Pretty much is all live streaming. Like there's almost nobody making full-length videos. Like their search algorithm, it's ass. Trying to upload anything there, it's never going to get watched. It's just not serving it up. And honestly, it probably is in big part due to the fact that Google is suppressing the search algorithm for anything popping up under the, their banner to then follow through. Because why would they show for their opponents in a bidding war for your attention? Because you are the product. If you're watching for free, you are the product. Anytime someone sells you for something for free, you're for sale. You're the product. So I'm going to leave it here. It's been fun. If I can keep doing this, I will. But if they decide to just crank down on the thumb screws even more, I went out with my boots on. I had a good time. I'm going to keep doing it where nobody will ever see it. I really don't care. So, yeah, I'll see you when I see you. I'll catch you guys next time.